So hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. So I guess today we'll be analyzing some games from chessgames.com. So this is a game between Paul Morphy and John William Spluchan. So yeah, this is featured as the game of the day in chess.com. Sorry, chessgames.com. So and to review our profile. So finally I reached 2100 in all three formats. So I guess from now on, I should be focusing on playing more classical chess instead of pitching on these ratings. So these days, it feels like these ratings are fluctuating a lot, which means I'm not stable or consistent in playing good chess. So what I'm planning is I'll be training for the next 2 to 3 months. So I'll not be playing much games in chess.com. I'll be analyzing older Grandmaster or Masters games and try to find out what are my weaknesses and strengths. So based on my past games, yeah, and so on. So basically, I'll just analyze my past games and what I'm just doing wrong and how can I correct it. So I'm aimed to reach 2100 in all three formats as the year before the year ends, and I completed this with before 2 months. So probably I'll spend more time on learning chess, not just not just doing some shitty shits to gain ratings. So yeah, so this is the first episode of our series where I'll be analyzing the Grandmasters games. So what I'm planning is maybe you'll just do a small stream where I'll be reviewing the game of the day every day for the next 2 months from chessgames.com, and yeah, we'll just learn together. That's it. So this is a game that I haven't seen before, so I'll just try to analyze the game along with you. Okay, so we'll just start it. So maybe I'll just import the PGN and move to leeches maybe. That would be better, right? So I'll just import the uh, what is it called? Where is it? Choose, right? Yeah. So I'll just upload the PGN up here. So Paul Murphy is white and William is as black, right? So John Williams solution. I'm not sure how to pronounce the thing. Maybe I'll just turn off the engine first and just start from the beginning, and I'll just close the wiki book too. Okay, playing a king pawn opponent, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Ah, rule of bus. So this is Spanish line, rule of bus. Wow, they're just playing. What's this thing called? I'm not sure what the thing. Okay, this is the classical defense of the rule of bus. Okay, that's fine. So okay, classical defense of rule of bus. And then what I'll be playing in this place? Maybe I'll be playing or opening of the center. What did he does? He to play c3. That's a good move. I just guessed a good move that Paul Murphy played. So what my idea is, maybe let's say he'll be kicking it back. I can just have a square for my bishop as well. Also I can just develop my attack. So kicking his bishop away. So having a strong center pawns. So this is my idea behind it. Also, I guess the elbow would be much better for white than black. Yeah, so it's somewhere around plus 1.6. So Yeah, it's much better. There are much more variations and calculations up here, but I just went through the line that caught up in my mind. So we'll be just back to the game. So he played c3 and he played knight g e7. So this is knight g7. He played this one. Okay, so they're out of moves. So what is this opening called? This is called central variation. This is the most critical move to classical defense in the Spanish, which suppose c3 to white play d4. Yeah, okay. So building a big pawn center and kicking black's bishop. Yeah, that's the main idea. And then you have knight f6. So also we can just play the knight f6. Okay, is the most common response. So this is the most common response. So this invites, okay, d4 attacking the bishop, or white can castle transposing into the Zukertut camp. Okay, I'll just try to play that line. So I'll just play this. So I'll just continue with my attack. Nope. Okay, we'll be just castling. So this is Zukertut Gambit. Yeah, leaving this pawn on defender. If white plays, okay, so accepting with increase the pressure on f2. Yeah, so increase the pressure on f2. So white plays inaccurately, they are in trouble. Rook e1, that allows, yeah, bishop takes and capture the rook. And then queen takes e1, and then it goes on like that. Okay, so white can try d4, but their best replay is queen e2. So queen e2 is the best move. So if he captures, then this is the best move. Got it. So more formats to decline with castle. Okay. E6 is a bad move because we can just drop back here. Yeah, that's the idea that we discussed earlier. It's a mistake. White's pawn on c3 is now prevents the black standard exchange of Spanish rejoinder. Queen d4. Queen d4. I don't know what does that mean. a6. Bishop takes c6. D takes e6. Knight takes e4. This is e5, right? And queen d4. Ah, got the idea. So if this pawn isn't up there, then let's say he plays this, captures. So this will lead to this. So if c3 is not there, then he can just attack on this multiple times. Let's say for possibly we'll just have this. No, I don't know, but there should be somehow should be like that, right? Okay, so we'll just go for this. So this is the central variation. So we'll just start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. We'll just go for the rule of first, which is bishop b5, then bishop c5, and c3, which is the central variation. Then we have knight g e7. Okay, then castle kingside, then play d4. Now open up the center. So e takes d4, c takes d4, bishop b6, roll the bishop back, and then d5. So attacking the knight, kicking the knight back, knight b8. Okay, so going to the home square, and then d6, which is furthermore. So captures. Maybe this might be his idea or what? I don't know. So what's his idea? Okay, takes. Oh wow, he develops the bishop, adds further attacker to the to the d d6 pawn, defends that, develops the knight, kicks the bishop, drops the bishop back, kicks the bishop again, drops the bishop to b3 square, developing the bishop along this diagonal. Now takes, exchanges, h6, maybe a waiting move or even a space for the king. Okay, centralizing the rooks. So you can just see here white is much more better in the development than black, because black spaces are stagnant at the back. Also, this is not an optimal position for black, right? So while this bishop is targeting, these knights are well developed, rooks are on the center in the next move. So yeah, it's much better for white. Okay, knight c8, a backward move to kick the queen. So drop the queen back. So targeting this pawn maybe, I guess. What's the idea behind that? Targeting this pawn. Also, we can just play fishing moves like this maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he executed that idea. Maybe defending via this or this, I guess. Oh wow, I forgot the f6 move. Yeah, that's much better. Exchanges. Now attacks the double pawn. King should be defending that. Oh wow. What's the sacrifice? So if he takes, what can I play here? Can just check. Grab this. Wow. Oh, that's nice. I haven't calculated this thing. So after chops. So take head. So captures, check and pick the other knight. Wow, great. Okay, so he played this, covering this knight. So now he can capture the knight, defending the knight. Okay, kicking the bishop or maybe kicking the knight might be his idea. Or I guess he's kicking the bishop, I guess. So d3, developing a sharp attack on the king side. What's the smoking? Having a square for his king to be escape up here. What's the idea behind this move? I don't know. Maybe so want us to try to capture this. So forcing to exchange pieces, I guess. So attacking two pawns. Or what is the idea behind that? Yeah, that's the idea, I guess. So now can capture, captures, check, drawbacks, place this. I don't know. But this knight is much better up here because he's blocking this square for the king to escape from here in the future. Ah, how did I miss this move? Okay, what's the idea behind this? So I played this instead of this. I don't know what's the major difference between these two. Yeah, this also attacks the rook as well as this pawn. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, he's not still capturing the pawn. Now attacking the pawn further, defending it. Oh, okay, the game moves up here. After this move, he can't escape because of this check and pick the rook. Or if he didn't play this move, still, let's say he just plays or develops some other move like this, then you can just still play. Yeah, that's a mush rhythm for that, I guess. So after this move, okay, after this move, he resigned the game, I guess. Yeah. So Okay, so now we'll just analyze from the beginning with the engine on. I'll just explore the different lines. So possible moves are okay. The opening goes on like e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and the Spanish variation. And okay, so after that he played c5, which I don't often see in the modern chess. But yeah, this move is not bad as well as it's not the optimum, I guess. So what's the much more optimal moves to attack this pawn, I guess? So maybe attacking this pawn, castling. If you just capture this, I'll just attack with the rook, putting up this diagonal, I guess. Yeah, so this is the hmm. Yeah, this is the objective of playing this opening, I guess. So probably yeah. So we'll just start with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then playing bishop b5, and then plays knight f6 is the common way of playing this. So this is called the Berlin defense. So he played the classical defense, which is the bishop c5 move. So after c5, castling is a good move on the ancient standards, but he played c3. So waving up a square from a bishop to be played. Also, we discussed the earlier line of playing the queen d4 move, targeting on this pawn as well as the knight captures e5 thing. So yeah, probably that would be the cause, I guess. What else? Yeah. Okay. So after this, he played knight ge7, not the standard f6 move, but he played knight e7. Okay. Now then the castles on both sides. So yeah. So in this position, I'll just say white is much better because of his central pawns as well as he had much pieces developed. So it's easy to bring his knight while his knight is quite stagnant in case of the next move. And also the bishops are open, his bishop are closed, which will just remotely block the queen as well as the central development of these rooks. So it's much more better for white. So yeah, I understood that it's obviously much better for white. So yeah, kicking the knight. So b4 is much better than b8. Okay, this is much better than b8. But what he played b8, further pushing the pawn. Yeah, so this is much more worse for white because he can't move this pawn either, else this pawn. So his knight is, sorry, his bishop is completely blocked away. So yeah, that's a great move, I guess. So what if he instead played some other move? Sorry, maybe okay, he'll then just develop. That's it. So it's wish to either capture it or not. Okay. Uh, okay. Add a further attacker, a further defender, a simple developing move, kicking the bishop, kicking the bishop again, dropping back, developing the bishop. Yeah, now captures. So now the captures is not a great move. Pinning is much better. Rook e1. Centralizing the rooks are also much better. I thought rook c3 is much better. Rook c3 is not much better than these other two moves, I guess. So rook c3. Yeah, rook c3 is better, I guess. Maybe I'll just see the further lines. How to see multiple lines? We'll see up to 5 lines. Um, yeah, rook c1 is the best move in this position. Then rook e1. So bishop takes. D6 isn't the top 5 most recommended by the machine. So yeah, so probably this pawn can be defended, so it's not obviously fight to check now. So it's proper way to surprise the rooks. That would be much better, I guess. Yeah, got it. Um, but he captures to simplify the position, I guess. Okay, after this he played h6 as a waiting move. What I thought was we can just develop his bishop, right? Sorry, his knight, right? Why did he play that move? So what's the knight c6 move? So knight b6 move is the second best move in the position. The first best move is a4. Oh wow, yeah, to kick the bishop and exchange it. What's the reason to play this one? Let's go for this line. What's the line behind that? Don't see any line up there. I don't know. Okay, so maybe I'll just place c6. That'll be much better, I guess, in that position. Yeah, and then I'll just bring the. What's the difference between winning this rook as and this rook? I don't know. Why that's not a much better move. So rook a d1 is much better, I thought, but rook f d1 is much better because in future I guess you can just play on this file. This is a semi-open file, so that would be much better. Let's say he played this. Now I can just bring the other rook in to have a centralized rooks. Maybe I don't know that might be the core idea, I guess. Um. Okay, so after capturing, he played h6, centralizing the d rook. Mm-hmm. Attacking the queen. I thought this would be much better, but he played f4, queen f4, not the queen g3 move. So queen f4 is the second best move. So first best move is queen g3, and then you have queen g6. Wow, this is much more great. We can just play these kinds of moves with lower rated players where they'll be quite panic on playing the other moves, I guess. Then we have d3 as well as d2. Okay, except this g6 move, the queen g6 move, every other move is targeting on the dot squares. So except these two moves. So the queen d3 and queen g6 move. Except these two moves remaining are targeting the dark squares. Maybe this diagonal or this diagonal, I guess. Yeah. So he played queen f4. He developed the knight, the other knight. So yeah, this will be much better because already I just see a line where he plays this to add a further attacker to this and so on. Hmm, capturing is better. Hmm. So this is plus 3. Sorry, what? This is plus 3.5. So the best move is to defend this way. Hmm. Yeah. So the best move is to defend this way. Uh, Sorry. I don't know, but Okay, he played this move. Now he can capture this so that we can just so that the previous idea doesn't work up here. He played defending the knight, lifting the rook to keep the shacks. So that would be the normal idea that comes to a 2000 rated player. What's the rating of Paul Murphy? Oh wow, estimated to be around 2400 to 2500 FIBA. Those league dominance would be placed him around 2411 at the time. So the modern estimation suggests he'll be strong international master around 2400 by today's standards, primarily due to the advancement in the opening three and training methods. Um, hmm. Yeah, because I can just easily absorb Paul Murphy's idea behind each move. So he's just playing simple chess, and it's easily understandable to most of the players. Wow, that's great. Also there's capable like Capablanca games that also equivalent good as Paul Murphy's one. So basically, the 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 old school chess is much better than the modern chess in terms of understanding, because the modern chess is much more complicated due to the usage of these ancient lines and a better advancement rules. So probably yeah. So I should be playing this move so that we can just have a check on this file. So that would be the common idea for any 2000 rated player. Hmm. Yeah, having space for the king. So what if he haven't played this, but let's say he just developed the knight. Now he can just play check. So cornering his king, allowing the other rook to be developed, I guess. Hmm. Because his let's say he plays this move. So that's a bad because of this. Yeah, probably what would be better. So his king is completely cut off, right? So to avoid that, he played this. Okay, now attacking this knight. After exchange check, he played b6. I thought of playing c7, but b6 is much better because it attacks the rook as well as the pawn. So b6 is much better. Okay, adding another attacker. Yeah, the game ends here because now he blundered by playing the rook c7 move. So the rook c7 is a blunder because of this move. So after this check, takes, check, king e7, we have a fork where he can play this. No, he can play that. He can play this. Okay, I'll just go through this line maybe. So let's say he played this move. I'll be that would be a mate. So he can't be playing that thing. So he should be coming forward. So which allows him to play this. And wow, that's a mate in 6 or 7 maybe. I don't know. That's a mate in 4, I guess. So after this move, shouldn't be capturing. If we capture, then that's a mate in 4, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, it's a great game. Wow. So this is played somewhere around in 1850s or Yeah, somewhere around that time, I guess. What's the year? It was played on 1857. Wow, that's great. So they play the Spanish classical central variation. So I guess I should be having some kind of way to store these games, right? So maybe I'll just open, what's the thing called? I don't know what's the thing called. This had a local engine in my system, HS engine. What? Oh yeah, it's Skid. So probably I'll just upload the games of here, I guess. So let's go for database. So import files of. Okay, maybe I'll just create a folder. I'll just go for the desktop. Can be opening folders up here, right? Okay, I'll just make a directory. UGN. Probably. Where is it? I'll just copy it. And just open on it. Maybe how do I just name these games, bro? So, cause the pigeon includes the. Okay, I'll copy it. How do I name these games? Maybe I'll just create another directory for Paul Paul Murphy. Maybe. Now inside this, I can just create a file. Oh, users phone. So this is John Well 2019. Wait a minute, I'll just turn on my light. So 1857, right? So 1857. Okay. Hmm. Much better. So I'll just try to load in this. So, so database, import files of Fusion files, desktop, have the shares, we have the Fusion, we have all of the game. Nothing. Okay, should be of rotation dot Fusion. Uh, did I close this one? Sorry, what's happening up here? I'll just close this one. Probably I'll just copy this to the Fusion. And then we should be doing this right, you know. Okay, probably now this should be working, I guess. Desktop, chess, PGNs, Almost okay. With no PGN as a warning. Okay, close. So now I should be going for database. Where's the database? One game is imported, right? Where can I see the database? Ah, yeah, just here is the game. Hmm, that's a nice game. Great. So maybe I'll just add. I don't know how to use this kit software. I'll just try to learn it. What are these things, bro? Yeah, maybe I'll just add the games up here that I've just analyzed so that I can just recall on it. Yeah, so this is the casual game between Murphy and Sean Williams Closhan. So e4, e5, knight f6, knight c6, or knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, going for roll-up surface, roll-uppers, bishop g5, then c3, knight g7, castles, castles, both are short castles, then g4 attacking the center, pawn takes d4, pawn takes d4, bishop b6, and then taking the knight, knight b e8, so knight b8, d6, pawn takes d6, bishop, developing the bishop f4 to attack the pawn further away, defending the pawn, developing the bishop. Hmm. So yeah, so in this game I can just see two tactics. So the first one is Kia, so this one. So this is a good tactic. I'll be capturing, sorry, I'll be capturing, allowing to capture it. That's much better. Okay, just go for the main line. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'll just try to make the database of chess games that I love, and if possible, I'll just open those in the GitHub so that everyone can access it. Yeah, probably that would be the end of our analysis today. So I guess I missed much lines in the middle game, so I didn't explore all of them. So yeah, probably is there a way to add things in? Can we just store games in? Uh, so how to just add or save this game? What is this, bro? Wow, here's the study. I got it. Uh, Now maybe I'll just add some cool switching bus. So how to add annotations for this chat? So don't know how to do that. Yeah, this is much better. Lichess is quite good. Yeah, maybe I'll just use this leeches itself instead of skit. So they're just providing a much more good variety of things, right? So where to go for this? Okay, I'll just go for leeches study. So I'll just go for my studies. Yeah, there it is. Okay, then I'll just store all my games up here. That'll be much better and can be easily visible for everyone. Hmm. Okay, probably I guess I'll just end my stream. So that's how I plan for the next few months. Maybe I'll just analyze the games, study those grandmaster games and the nuances behind them. Also, I guess I should be focusing on some end game tactics. In-game tactics, it's not exactly like tactics, it's kind of like a patterns maybe, like checkmating with two bishops or two knights or yeah. So we should be exploring that too, I guess. Okay, so I guess we are on the right track, and yeah, possibly we could achieve a 25 or maybe at least a master level play in some more days, I guess. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'll just end up wrap the stream. So yeah, bye bye. Take care.